Hey! Hi, how you doing? This is the Gamertron and welcome back to the Gamertron Show. Now, I like to think I have an open mind. I'd like to think I have a broad perspective on life. That I know what's important and what isn't, what's petty and what's not. But sometimes you forget. Sometimes you become complacent, inattentive, docile, and forgetful. Sometimes you just need a really good kick in the ass from reality to remind you, hey, this thing that you're getting so emotionally attached to, emotionally invested in, this thing you're getting angry over, whether it be this object or this ideal or something someone said, you know what? When you look at the big picture, it really doesn't matter in the slightest. You see, I watched this video from a YouTuber called DarkMatter2525. I've been watching and checking out his stuff for a while now, mostly because it's very clever, very creative, very humorous. But only now have I seen his video called Disgruntled Royalty, and I highly recommend that you watch that video. I legitimately got teary-eyed watching the video and realized, God damn it, I did it again. For the last few months, especially concerning video games, I've been getting upset and riled up over incredibly insignificant things. And I think it's important that this video be watched and understood and talked about because I think there's a problem with the gaming community, a problem that this video kind of addresses is not really directed at video games. Video games are brought up, they are mentioned, but that is not the overall message of the video. The overall message of the video is to value and be happy for what you have now, because what we have now, at least here in North America, where we live in North America, I'm in Canada, I'm sure a great deal of you watching are from the US. Just in Western culture, Western civilization, if you're living in the West, if you're living in North America, or one of the lucky parts in Europe, it's good, very good as a matter of fact, to realize how fortunate you are, and to not be so ungrateful and petty and irrational over the most insignificant things. When you realize there are people out there just starving, dehydrated, homeless, dying. There are people in the world out there right now that don't even comprehend or understand stuff like air conditioning, a hot shower, video games, movies, entertainment, grocery stores. There are people out there in the world struggling to just survive, to just live. They've never been on the internet, they don't even know the internet exists, they've never been able to go to a fancy restaurant or fast food restaurant and order gigantic meals. There are people out there incredibly unfortunate, so complaining about shit in video games is really kind of pathetic, and I am guilty of this, and I have made the mistake. It is a mistake. It is something that you shouldn't do. You shouldn't really get upset or angry or sad over video games. Like, video games can convey those emotions if you're experiencing the story, playing the game, experiencing the game. Games generating an emotion from you is completely natural. I'm talking more about the attitude of getting angry and hateful and spiteful at the video game, at the developers, at other people who play the game or like the game. And I preach on this YouTube channel a lot, I preach in my videos a lot how I want to stay positive and optimistic on this YouTube channel, on my videos talking about video games. But every once in a while I bring up something negative that I disagree with or I don't like. I like to think that I'm rational. I like to think that I'm being reasonable, but maybe there are times where I'm not. And after watching this video, Disgruntled Royalty, like, it was just a good kick in the ass. It was a good mental kick in the ass to remind me, hey, I get to play video games. I get to experience video games. There may come a time in the future where this will be a thing of myth, a thing of legend that no one else will ever be able to experience. I've got to remember that back in the day, decades ago, no one even knew what video games were. It wasn't a thought in people's heads. It wasn't real. It wasn't a thing. I've got to keep in mind that there are people out there in the world, human beings, who are suffering and just struggling to live, to survive, that the thought of entertainment, the thought of virtual entertainment, it doesn't compute with them. It doesn't make sense. It's not something that exists in their reality, because their reality is, I have to find food, I have to find water, I have to find shelter, or I'm going to die. It would be awesome if the gaming community as a whole moved from this phase of spoiled brathood and being so angry and upset and aggressive and even sometimes violent over the most petty, insignificant things. Now, I'm not saying that some anger and some complaints that people have over video games and over what video game creators and especially what video game publishers do, like the decisions they make, like there are reasons as a consumer to be displeased with them because video game publishers do make scummy anti-consumer decisions. And it's completely reasonable to point out, like, hey, what you're doing, it's very greedy, it's very anti-consumer, you're jeopardizing the quality of your product just to make a little extra money. But in that circumstance, wouldn't it be healthier, more reasonable, and send a stronger message to vote with your wallet and not with your emotions? Because in the end, these publishers, these people who only care about the numbers game, they'll listen to and respond to the numbers. If they do something we don't like, then we don't spend our money on it, they learn the lesson and don't do that thing and maybe try to do something better, more pro-consumer to get us to buy it. However, I think this rant, tirade, whatever this is that I'm doing here, this confession maybe, I think it's time I wrap this up. All I want to say in the end is, video games are amazing. They're incredible when you really think about it. When you think about what video games are capable of, what they do for us, how they affect us as people, as a society, maybe we shouldn't take them so much for granted. Maybe we shouldn't get so emotionally distraught over them. Maybe we shouldn't discard and attack other human beings over them. Maybe we just really need to get some perspective and put everything in perspective. Life is important, life is precious, and it's important, at least in my eyes, at least in my opinion, it's important to be grateful and happy if you get to live a comfortable life without much strife or real true struggle. I mean, if you have the money to afford video games and you have the time to spend on video games, you're a pretty lucky person, and it's good to keep that in mind. Anyways, that's been a video. I'd love to read your thoughts, feelings, and opinions in the comment section. Hit the like button if you like the video, of course. If you want to help out and support the video, then please share it on social media, Twitter and Facebook. And if you're interested in helping and supporting me directly, then please consider pledging and becoming a patron on my Patreon. Anyways, guys, that's been a video. I'll see you all later. Be sure to check out Dark Matter 2525's Disgruntled Royalty video, and I hope you all have a wonderful day. I hope you all have a good day. Every day being alive is a good day.